Good morning, good afternoon, guys, and a very happy Friday to you. Hope everyone's doing well. I hope all my American friends had a fantastic Thanksgiving yesterday. Hope you all got to have some great food. I was seeing some of the pictures that you guys were posting. I was very jealous. It looked delicious. I hope you all had a good one. Oh my gosh, guys, we're almost out of November. Can you believe it? We've almost hit December, and then we've got the holidays, and we've got just so much stuff to get through. Holidays are, usually pretty fun time. I do love Christmas, I've got to admit. So hope everybody is doing well. Oh dear, I think we might have lost Mark. But before we jump into the show, let me say hi to everybody. So we have got Justice for Depp. Hello, honey. Good to see you. We have got Snorterpoopers Cuba. Hello. We have got both Bash Brothers. We've got Mark and Chris. Hello, guys. Always good to see you. Thank you. Let's see, we've got Ishad Malodi. Good to see you. Welcome. Raj H. Hello to you as well, honey. Great to see you. Psycho Dwarf 9. Hello, love. We have got SJ Almighty, and I want to send a huge thank you to SJ Almighty. I think we've just had a tip come through, but Stream Elements has just crashed on me. So as soon as I get it back up and running, I will read it out. But a huge thank you. I really, really appreciate that. Let's see, we've got Snowdub live. He says turkey and rolls. Absolutely. Sending love to Jolly and Puff and everybody over at the Cotton Connection. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's see, we've got Ren Zero. He says, hi, Purple. Hi, chat. Hello to you too. Good to see you. Mobile Recluse. Good to see you. Welcome. Let's see, let me scroll up. We've got the abominable Mr. Hyde. Great name. Roll Tide Keely Chow. Good to see you. Good afternoon to Archer Colin. Welcome. Let's see. I know I saw Leah Rose. Hello, sweetheart. Good to see you. Good morning. And I think, if I remember correctly, Project Storytime was first today. So well done to Josh for that. I always love to see who gets in first. It's always funny. And Culture Casino, hello, sweetheart. He says smooches. Well, smooches to you too. And big love to Mr. Tickle Trunk, who's not here, so shh. Darren Zone, good afternoon to you as well, honey. And Pat S, welcome. Let's see, he's put in 2 messages, so let me get them for you. He says, Purple, at this time of giving thanks and seeking you doing a Christmas stream already, I'm reminded of my first YouTube stream. It was your Winter Wonderland almost a year ago. Really? Wow, I didn't realise you were with us that long. Oh, honey, thank you. Let me grab part 2. He said you lurked for a few months, becoming a fan, following you to Loki's and EBN. Thanks for all the entertainment and teaching you gave me. You had me on a live stream first and have been a mentor to me ever since. And I think there's going to be a part 3. Yep, there it is. And many more. Thank you for everything, Purple Valkyrie. You're one of the good ones. You are one of the good ones as well, Pat. It's been an absolute honor and privilege to get to know you as a friend and to see you be as successful as you are. It's incredible how well you've done. But it's incredible to see how well everybody's doing, you know. We have this amazing community and everybody's branching out and everybody's kind of having fun with what they're doing. I absolutely love getting to see this. And Dayat Brooks, good to see you. Welcome. And the lovely Lady Mist. Hello, gorgeous. Hello, honey. Guys, I'm so glad to see everybody today. As you can tell, I'm kicking off the holidays just a little bit early today. I thought, what could be a good kind of feel-good subject to talk about on a Friday? Something that we can kind of banter back and forth with, and I can have some fun with you guys. And I thought, you know what? I watched Planes, Trains and Automobiles yesterday. It is one of my absolute favourite films. Still to this day, I miss John Candy. I thought he was a fantastic comedian, and the chemistry that he has with Steve Martin in this film is brilliant. It's one of those films that I can just sit down and watch, and I know I'm going to enjoy every single time. And yesterday was no exception. I absolutely love that film. I know Chris mentioned it as well. He said Uncle Buck is up there as well. It is. Uncle Buck is a great film. It's got, again, John Candy, and it's got a young Macaulay Culkin. I think it was just after he did the Home Alone film, which I'll talk about in a bit as well. But yeah, another fantastic film. And hello to the lovely she's lost. I've lost her. There she is. Arwen, hello, sweetheart. That was a great show you guys had with Loki this morning. My co-host, obviously, for Pink and Purple. Love to get to do that with her. And Rambling Canuck, hello, honey. I just watched your show. That was brilliant. Really, really enjoyed the stream that you put out today. So thank you for that as well. So, guys, let me see. So one of the ones that I said I loved, obviously, was that one. But one of the ones that pops up in Christmas lists time and time again that creeps me the hell out is the Polar Express. Now, I know it's supposed to be charming. I know it's directed by Robert Zemeckis, who has got, you know, a good pedigree when it comes to films. But it was so weird for me. It just dived way too deep into the uncanny valley, and it just, there's something off-putting about it. And it's got Tom Hanks in, and the character, just because the character model is basically Tom Hanks, it just takes you out of the film. It's so weird. I know at the time it came out in 2004, and this was kind of cutting edge technology for this film. And I think it was very popular at the time, but it hasn't aged well. And for me, the first time I watched it, I was like, oh no, this is too weird. I can't. And I usually love Christmas films. I am really sappy, especially when it comes to kind of kids' Christmas films. You know, I love The Grinch. My absolute favourite is The Muppets Christmas Carol. I will watch that probably at least 3 times in December. The same with A Nightmare Before Christmas. Those two are probably my absolute favourites when it comes to the more kiddie-based Christmas films. And hello to D-Blood Martin, great to see you. He brings up a good one as well, Scrooge, or Scrooged, as it were. Now that's the one that's got Bill Murray in, if I remember correctly, and that is a great film. Oh my god, I love that film. I'm kind of a sucker for Christmas Carol anyway, so I will watch multiple versions. There was a Disney version that had Jim Carrey that was great. It didn't really do very well, if I remember correctly, in the box office wise. Again, it was one of those ones that kind of was very heavily based on the like motion animation. So a lot of the cast were acted as well as did the voice acting, which was a little bit weird, similar to the Polar Express, but I really like it. There's a version that's got Patrick Stewart in that I love, that I watch all the time. There's the musical that's got Albert Finney in, which is brilliant. So anything A Christmas Carol is right up there on my list. The Abominable Mr. Hyde says, my 2 favourite Christmas movies are National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation and Christmas Carol with Alistair Sim. Yes! Love those ones. Oh my god, those are so good. If I remember correctly, we'll be covering National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation pretty soon. So really looking forward to that. But that is a great film. I really like the National Lampoon films anyway, but I always think that the Christmas one is probably the best of the bunch. I love it. I like the European Vacation as well, but another one that I will watch probably at least twice in December. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Debut Martin says that love both the 1937 MGM and the 1951 Alistair Sim Christmas Carol films. Yes, absolutely. Arwen says Carey's animated Scrooge was surprisingly good. Creepy, but good. It really was. It was a lot more adult, I guess you would say, than I was expecting, because you think, oh, Disney, it's going to be very kiddie based, but no, they stuck really closely to the actual story, which I was surprised about. They embellished it a little bit, but it had some kind of scary moments for kids. Soul Assassin, good morning and welcome. As he says, Christmas Vacation and both the Muppets and George C. Scott's Christmas Carols. Yes, I knew you guys had great taste. Psychodor says it's got to be Peter O'Toole, The Lion in Winter. Oh my god, I haven't seen that film in so long. Yes, another one that I'm going to have to add to the list. Dean Krantz, hello, lovely. Good to see you. Welcome. Hope you're having a good one. Number one, excellent choice. It's a Wonderful Life. Yes. I don't think you could probably get through Christmas without It's a Wonderful Life. And it's one of those films that even people that hate black and white films, I think really like because it's so good. Now there's a lot of them that I would class as kind of in the black and white. The original Miracle on 34th Street is great, as is the remake that we got, which had Richard Attenborough in. I nearly said David, but no, that's his brother. But yeah, it's a Wonderful Life. It is so good. Jimmy Stewart is brilliant in that, and so is Henry Travers as the angel. A lot of people seem to think it's kind of overly sentimental and it's too saccharine, but I love it. I think it's a great film. So it's definitely one of those ones that I would recommend to everybody. Good choice. Mark says the BBC Chronicles of Narnia, always every Christmas. That was such a good series, wasn't it? I think a lot of people kind of forget that it existed. But it really was excellent, especially Aslan. Aslan looked wonderful considering it was just a couple of people in a lion costume. They really worked hard to create these characters. I love it. Pat S says Purple Valkyrie. Alistair Sims' 1951 Scrooge was my dad's favourite. We watched it every year on VHS. We even had a DVD that was on repeat from TCM. Nice. I love that film. I've got to admit, it is one of my favourites also. Lady Miss says Gremlins and the Bishop's Wife. The Bishop's Wife I've seen, but I think I've only ever seen once. So if you recommend it, Lady Mist, I will definitely add it back to my list to rewatch again. But Gremlins, yes. Oh my god, I remember when Gremlins first came out. I remember the controversy about it. Everyone thought it was going to be this kind of cutesy kids film, and it wasn't. It scared a lot of kids, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I thought it was a great film. You know, it's so bizarre. I know we had the sequel as well, but the sequel, as most sequels, it didn't quite capture the magic of the first one. But like everybody else, I imagine that saw that film, I had to have a gizmo, and I still have the gizmo. He's sitting on a shelf to this day. Had him when the film first came out, and I absolutely love that character. I've talked about it before. The one thing that I would love to get, and I will get eventually, I promise, is a full-size replica of Stripe. I'll put him up on top of the the bookcase that I have, and he will look awesome. Ren Zero brings up a good point. He says, people have gotten too cynical. Probably not without reason, to be honest. I agree with what we've all gone through in the past 18 months or so. People have the right to be a little bit cynical, a little bit jaded. But It's a Wonderful Life is a masterpiece. I couldn't agree more, Ren Zero. Absolutely. A fantastic film. And as I said, even people that don't seem to like black and white films will still gravitate towards that because it is so good. Mr. CCDV, hello and welcome. He says, never did shoot my eye out. Well, that's good. And hello to Tim Possible. Good morning, honey. Good to see you. The Darren Zone says, for a bizarre cult, so bad it's bad, oddity, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. Yes, it is a real film. It's on YouTube for all to marvel at in its awfulness. It is. It was also covered by MST3K, if I remember correctly, because that's the first time that I saw that film. But yeah, watch the full film without the commentary, and it's just as bizarre. But a fun film, definitely. It's got is it Piers Zadora in, if I remember correctly? Oh my god. Soul Assassin says Jingle All the Way, Turbo Man. Yes. This was when Arnie was going through his family-friendly stage after he did all the action films in the 80s. He went into the comedies. I like Jingle All the Way, I've got to admit. It's not one of those ones that I rewatch. It's got Sinbad in as well, if I remember correctly, as the guy he's up against chasing after this Turbo Man doll that's, the most sought after toy ever. I'm not a massive fan of kind of silly slapstick comedy, but Arnie is very charismatic, and it's a feel good film. It's a father trying to make his son happy. So I would class that as a really good film as well, if only for that, because we don't see that as often anymore. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Dean Krantz says, I was a young man in the services when Gremlins came out. Being Marines, we immediately wanted the bad Gremlins to be our pets. Right there with you. Do you mean the Gremlins when they became Gremlins, or the Gremlins when they were still Mogwais? Because either way, that's cool. I really like the contrast with the slightly evil Mogwais. Whereas Gizmo was very sweet, he was very kind of gentle, he had that kind of nice nature. But once he had the water spilt on him and the little gremlins all popped out and they all had these different personalities, and you could tell that there wasn't something quite right about them. Even Gizmo knew, he didn't want these things around. But yes, I agree. They are fantastic. And I just love the rules that they gave them. Don't get them wet, don't let them be exposed to sunlight, and don't feed them after midnight. A warm welcome and good morning and thank you to Brandon, the anime guy. He sends us a $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, honey. It says so many, way too many, but that's okay. Here's my money for the week. Oh, honey, you don't need to do that. Thank you. Eventually go enjoy a movie rental on me and have some rabbit turkey chicken. Thank you so much, Brandon. I really appreciate that. Oh gosh, Paris says Solar Opposites did a great job on Jingle All the Way in their new holiday special. Okay, well, we'll check that out. Thank you. Always happy to get recommendations, guys. Throw these recommendations at me, because although, as you can tell, I'm kind of sappy when it comes to seasonal films. I was when we were talking Halloween. I love horror as well, but there's something special about holiday films. And hello and good morning to Jedi Bill. Welcome. Good to see you. Leah Rose asks, Purple Valkyrie, do you have Pluto TV in England? They have The Bishop's Wife black and white version with Cary Grant for free. I don't think we do, but I can certainly go search for it if you would recommend it. So thank you, honey. I will check that one out. I don't recognise Pluto TV, but we might have something similar that it will be on. It might be on Amazon, perhaps. But that's great. Ding says, I need to know how many other people gave singing bass and jackalopes as Christmas presents. And Brandon, yes, Cary Grant is great. I absolutely agree with you there. Let me scroll back up a little bit. One that's a little bit more modern that seems to be really popular, mainly because of Will Ferrell. I will admit that. I liked it for what it was, is Elf. Now, this came out in 2003, and it kind of really took off. People really seemed to like it. I think, as I say, it's mostly because of Will Ferrell, because he's so charismatic in the role, and it's got James Caan as well, and they really have this good chemistry between them as father and son, or where he's desperately trying to reconnect with him, and James Caan just thinks he's a nutcase, basically. This guy turns up, he's like 6 foot plus, and tells him that he's an elf from the North Pole. But it's a really kind of endearing and sweet film. I thought it was really good. There is a animated version as well that I saw. It was okay, and I'm pretty sure there's a musical as well. So this thing really took off. But I'd go back to the film, to be honest, if you're going to watch a version of it. Let's see what else we've got. I suppose we couldn't talk Christmas films without mentioning White Christmas. I've got to admit, I will put my hands up. I've never been the biggest Bing Crosby fan. I like him well enough, but this film, it's again like It's a Wonderful Life. It's one of those. It's kind of a classic. It's a feel good film, absolutely, and it does really good. It does have a good cast. It's got Bing Crosby, Danny Kaye, who I really liked. He was great as court jester, or the jester, if I remember correctly. That's the name of the film. It's got Rosemary Clooney and Vera Ellen as well in it. So, but I think most people know it just for the songs, and it's a very sweet kind of film. So I'd recommend that as well. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Psychodor says Renzero can't take Will Ferrell for more than 30 seconds. A lot of people say that, yeah, unfortunately. Some people, I guess, find him a little bit too much. I'm a bit like that with Jim Carrey. I can take him or leave him. I like him in some of the roles that he's done, but others I just think like, oh, calm down a little bit, just tone it down a little bit. Arwen says White Christmas is good even just to have on in the background because it has that great holiday feel. I agree. It's a great film to kind of put on, and if you're wrapping presents or, if you're just decorating the Christmas tree, anything like that is a fantastic thing to have playing. It really gets you in the festive mood. Brandon says White Christmas is a war movie. Agreed, it is. Debug Martin says Holiday Inn is far superior to White Christmas and much more non-PC. I haven't seen Holiday Inn, if I remember correctly. I know of it, but I don't think I've seen it. Good afternoon to Ian So Forth. He says, yes, Will Ferrell desperately needs a second joke. Like I said, I'm not his biggest fan, but I did find him quite endearing in Elf because he really threw himself into the role. Soul Assassin, someone after my own heart, Krampus. Yes! I've talked about Krampus multiple times. Guys, you know how much I love Krampus. But it's a great film. And it's one of those films that's very kind of tongue-in-cheek, similar to Trick or Treat, which was directed by the same director. It's just a really good film. Really great use of practical effects. They were all made by the Weta, who did The Lord of the Rings. They really, really went out of their way to make the Krampus character look different than what's been seen before. I love that he's just got this huge kind of humps, hulking character, and he's got the huge horns when you finally do see him. I adore the gingerbread man. I've always wanted one of those as like a fridge magnet, so I could put it up on my fridge. I think that would look really cool. And I've actually got one of the bells as a Christmas ornament to put up on my tree. That's how much I love that film. So great choice, Soul Assassin. Thank you. Jim the Viking, I have not gotten to Die Hard yet, but I am on the way. But since you mentioned it, we'll talk about it now. Jim says, just curious, but knowing this crowd, Die Hard for Christmas film must have already been mentioned. It hasn't. I was getting to it, but since you brought it up, let's talk about it. I know a lot of people say that Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie. Those people are wrong. Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. Again, it's one of those ones that I will watch probably twice, but it is so good. It's probably the best of all of the Die Hards. I know, it's hard to top. But yeah, we've got Bruce Willis, we've got Alan Rickman. It's a great film, and it's fun. It's just a fun film. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Ren Zero Die Hard was mentioned several times. Yes, but not by me. So Now I'm talking about it. You guys are on fire today. It's taken me a while to catch up with the chat. It's skipping on me, so apologies. Mark says Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. It is. It is, absolutely. I think we talked about it last year as well. That was our December movie on Loki channel. That was a really fun time. Fair point, Purple. Thank you, honey. And Jim concurs. He said Christmas does not start until Hans Gruber falls off the skyscraper. Indeed. And I love that scene. You guys have seen it. You know what I'm talking about. But apparently, to get the kind of shocked look on Alan Rickman's face, they told him they were going to let him drop on 3. They let him drop on 2. So poor Alan Rickman. But it was still great. Chris says Die Hard 1 and 2 are Christmas movies, period. Think about it. It's a Christmas miracle that McClane survives and wins. Indeed. Absolutely. And Project Storytime, I do too. Yeah. He was a great actor. I miss him a lot. There's a lot of people that we've lost that I miss. You know, Sean Connery. We were talking earlier about John Candy. There are so many people that were fantastic. Arwen says, For the Romantics, While You Were Sleeping is such a great holiday movie. Oh, I love that film. Haven't seen that one for a while either. And the other one that I'm thinking of, oh, God, what is it now? Is it Love Actually? I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm thinking of. Yes, Love Actually. I had to scroll up and check. But that's got a really great cast as well. If I remember correctly, that has Alan Rickman in one of his last movies. Actually, no, it couldn't have been because this was 2003. It came out. Strike that, forget that. But he was in it. Colin Firth was in it. Bill Nighy, who I love. It had Keira Knightley, which I completely forgot she was in it. Hugh Grant, and it's got Liam Neeson, who I love as well, who I think is a great actor. And it's one of those ones that you're not quite sure how it works, but everything kind of comes together, and there's loads of happy endings, and it's a feel-good film, absolutely. Although I think it's stretching it a little bit that kid manages to run through the airport without getting in trouble. That's not gonna happen. Sorry, guys. SJ Almighty says Andrew Lincoln too. Yes, absolutely. I forgot Andrew Lincoln was in that. Yeah, good point. Colin says, I'm guessing you might also like a little movie / mini-series called Wintersmith. Indeed, absolutely. And Colin, I know you've probably watched this as well. Anybody who hasn't watched it, I would recommend the Terry Pratchett adaptation of one of his books, which is called Hogfather. It was done a few years ago now. It was shown on Sky One. You could probably find it quite easily. I think it's probably on Amazon. If not, you could probably find it via Sailing, if that is your, if you're inclined to do that. But it's a really good kind of take on Christmas from a different perspective, and it's a really good introduction to Discworld. It's one of the books actually that I recommend to people for anyone who hasn't read any Terry Pratchett. I'd say pick up Hogfather because it's got enough themes to let people understand what's going on. Absolutely. Dean Krantz says one of my dusted off movies this time of year is Time Bandits. Gosh, I haven't seen Time Bandits for a while. And I really love Telly Gillingham. I think he's a fantastic director. But it's one of those ones that that and Baron Munchausen, it's the two of his that I don't watch as often. I should probably remedy that, but a great pick. Absolutely. Let's see what else you guys are saying. And hello to Darius Munchausen, hey sweetheart. And hello to Dave Bob. Good morning, sir. I hope you're doing well. Glad you guys are nuts in the chat today. Demo Penguin, good to see you. It says Hogfather is on Sky Max. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. I thought it might be. I knew that it would be streaming somewhere. Everything, let's face it, is streaming somewhere. But appreciate that. Thank you, hon. Lady Miss brings up a really good one that I forgot about. Edward Scissorhands. I think that's probably the first time that I ever saw Johnny Depp as well. And that's a really sweet film. That's one of Vincent Price's last on-screen appearances as the inventor who builds this guy. And because he dies, he doesn't get to complete him. So instead of giving him hands, he's just got these weird kind of blades and scissors. But the look of the character and the way that Johnny Depp portrays him is really beautiful. I love it. It's such a good film. Let me see. Oops, it skipped on me. Sorry. Psycho Dwarf 9. Thank you, honey. It says, some people must believe in things that don't exist. Find me a single atom of justice. Absolutely. Well done. That is a great, great quote. I think my other favourite quote is, I'd rather be a rising ape than a falling angel. Thank you for that one, sweetheart. Much appreciated. Chris Persia says Hogfather is also available on Amazon Prime. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for that. You guys are really on the ball today. You guys are crazy. Justice for Deb says, thank you, Lady Mist, for mentioning Edward Scissorhands. Yes, thank you, Lady Mist. That's one of the ones that completely went out of my head as well. And I would have been so mad if I'd forgotten that one, because I love that film. Renzira says, Price had one of the most recognizable voices in cinema, in my opinion. I agree, absolutely. And was apparently a gentleman, from what I've heard. And all the interviews that I've seen with him, he seemed to be an absolutely lovely guy. And another one that I miss, same with Christopher Lee. So many great people that we've lost over the years. Let's see. I touched on it earlier when we were talking about Uncle Buck, but one that I watched it a little bit early because I only watched it a week ago, was Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin. This is one of those films that it just exploded at the box office. It was like lightning in a bottle. This came out in 1990, if I remember correctly, and it's I've heard it been described as the first black comedy film for children, and it really is. It's got Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern in, but this having Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister really kind of cemented this film. And it was at the box office #1 for about 12 weeks, if I remember correctly. This film just kept going and going and going, and it's still to this day one of the highest grossing films of all time. It really, really took off. It spawned multiple sequels, and although I do kind of have a soft spot for the second one, Lost in New York, I think it's a pretty good film. You just cannot recapture the magic of the first film. Similar to how we were talking about Ghostbusters earlier, this film just could not be replicated, and subsequent sequels are just terrible. And the one that's just come out, I think it was on D+, is awful from what I've heard. Just stay well away, guys. I've heard it's just the worst possible version of Home Alone. Oh, God. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Hello to that 70s rock fan. Good morning, honey. Good to see you. And Stig Kenobi, welcome. He says, the animated Beauty and the Beast is a holiday movie for me. My little sis got it for Xmas on VHS, and she pestered me into watching it with her at least 100 times. She would make me up to do so. Oh, that's so sweet. I've got to admit, I do love Beauty and the Beast. This takes it back to Disney when they had their renaissance. I think it started really with The Little Mermaid that kind of propelled them back into it, because before that they had a lot of misses, especially with the animated films. They were not doing well. They'd had films come before it like The Black Cauldron, which I really loved, but did badly at the box office. They had competition with Don Bluth, who was doing much better, and Disney really had to find a way to kind of get back on top, I suppose you could say. And these films like Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Aladdin really made them climb back up. and stay on top when it came to animated films. And I really miss the hand-drawn animated films. I know Beauty and the Beast made use of CGI as well, especially the sweeping shots when they're dancing in the ballroom. But there's something very magical about that film, and I really like it. So your sister has great taste, Stig. I agree with her completely, and I don't dislike the films that came before it. I do still have a soft spot for the old Disney. It's current Disney that we have an aversion to. And Brandon agrees. He said, "Yeah, avoid anything Disney Plus versions of. Screw them." Agreed. And he also says, I'm guessing you're talking about Home Alone? Yeah, you are. Budget of about 20 million, raking in 476 million in 1990. Amazing. It was just a film that just kept going and going. It was crazy. And I remember it coming out. Ren Zero says Macaulay has appeared on a few Red Letter Media episodes if anyone follows them. That is cool. Sorry, guys, had to grab a drink. I'd actually really like to talk to him. He seems like a really cool guy, to be honest. He's quite down to earth. So that would be pretty cool. Pat S says, Purple Valkyrie, we should have a MST3K Christmas movies watch party. I feel like it's Patrick Swayze Christmas this year. That's not a bad idea, Pat S. That is pretty cool. Well, see what we can do. Maybe we could do it as a member stream, perhaps. That would be fun, if you guys would be interested. And Wendology, hello, sweetheart. Good afternoon. She says, hiya, Purple Valkyrie. Been listening a while and working. Always enjoying your streams. Thank you, sweetheart. Been enjoying yours as well. I've been catching up on them this week. Really, you guys are doing fantastic work over there. So huge thank you for that. Justice for Dip says, loved when they got hit by the paint cans. Oh my god, some of the traps that he lays for the burglars in Home Alone. I know you shouldn't laugh, you feel guilty for laughing, but they're still funny. And I think that's why the film works so well, because it was so imaginative. I just love the scream that Daniel Stern gives out when he drops the tarantula on his face. And apparently they had to be so careful with that spider because because of health and safety, you can't harm it in any way. So the one that's sitting on Joe's chest, you can tell it's a rubber spider when he's about to smash it with the crowbar. But yeah, very inventive. And there is a fan theory floating around out there that I really like. I don't think there's any truth to it, but I thought it was pretty imaginative that Kevin McAllister actually grows up to be the Jigsaw Killer from the Saw films. I thought that was pretty funny. And it just kind of makes sense, I guess, the use of traps and things. The kid was definitely, veering towards being a sociopath. So make of that what you will, guys. And a very good morning and happy Friday to you too, Makani. Hello, sweetheart. I absolutely love the artwork that you did for Arwen for her birthday. That was incredible. I watched the time-lapse video that you did the other day. Brilliant. Absolutely loved it. So thank you for that. Oh my god, guys. I'm going to have to skip down to the bottom because you guys are on fire. Hello, good morning, Tom. Good to see you. He says, nah, it was Fuller. He didn't take it easy on the Pepsi. And Mark, he says, whoa, mind blown. Indeed. I don't think there's any, credence to it, but I just love the fan theory. It always made me laugh. The first time I heard it, I thought, yeah. Stig Kenobi says, I have a friend that looks exactly like Daniel Stern in Home Alone. Same face, same hair. Nice. I really liked him. I thought he played a great role as Marv. He's great. Marv and Harry, you can't beat them. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Hello, Daniel Leash. Good to see you, sweetheart. Good afternoon. Um, Chris says if anyone grew up to become the Jigsaw Killer, it would be the kid from the new reboot of Home Alone. I haven't seen the new reboot. Is he even crazier than the character played by Macaulay Culkin, Chris? Because if so, I will take your word for it. I've just heard bad things about it, so I steered clear. Dean Krantz says, Purple Valkyrie, have you watched any of the Corridor YouTube videos? They change soundtracks and turn Home Alone from a comedy into a murder movie, worth the watch. I have not, actually. That sounds pretty cool. You know, that sounds something that would be right up my alley, because you guys know I love horror. So I love anything that kind of flips comedy or, you know, something like that on its head. That sounds pretty awesome. And I bet that would work really well. Coffee on Coraban. Hello, sweetheart. Good morning, or good afternoon, rather, if I'm correct. Great to see you. He says, favorite Christmas movie? It's a Wonderful Life. No contest. I fully agree. It's probably in my top 5 favorites if you're going to just go by Christmas movies. Definitely an absolute must watch. Renzira says, Corridor Crew updated, in quotations, Home Alone, making the traps ultra violent. Well, they were violent to begin with, you know. I think that's why there was a little bit of controversy about the film. You know, you'd be very hard pressed to survive some of the traps that he set up for them. And I think in number 2, they kind of upped it even more. You know, he electrocutes them, he drops them off buildings, he throws bricks at them. This kid's a nutcase. Oh my god, let's see. Parrot Head, hello, sweetheart. He says The Ref is a great Christmas movie. Now, that one I haven't seen, but I will add that to my list. As I said, always looking for recommendations, guys, and you guys are killing it today. Wendology, always loved the original animated The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Yes! Boris Karloff is the voice of the Grinch and the narrator. Oh my gosh, yes. I haven't seen that one for ages. That one is right up there. And one that you're probably familiar with as well, Wendology, The Snowman. Hands up, anyone British or anyone who's seen The Snowman, who cried? I did. I cried when I was little. It sometimes makes me tear up now watching it at Christmas. And then they went ahead and brought out a sequel about 30 years later called The Snowman and the Snow Dog. And anything that's got dogs in is guaranteed to make the tears flow. So they managed to traumatize a whole new generation of kids with that. So well done. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh. Snowdog Live. Hey, sweetheart. Thank you. He sends us a $2 super chat. He says purple plus Puff. Hearts. Absolutely. We love Puff. Puff's so cool. We love all of the Cotton connection, but Puff's such a sweetheart. And I'm rooting for him. He can do it. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Oops, it skips by. God, you guys are on it today. Lisa Roberts, hello, sweetheart. She said, if it's going to make me cry, I'm out. Yeah, I admit I watched The Snowman, and I watched The Snowman and the Snow Dog. There's no narration. It's a silence. It's just music, but it really hits you in the feels. Zachariah, hello, honey. Good to see you. Dean Krantz says, any movie where they have to say goodbye, any dog movie where they have to say goodbye will make me emotional. Me too. Me too. Absolutely. And Dave Bob, yes, you know it. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. We did talk about that one earlier, but it's worth talking about. Absolutely. Chevy Chase at his best. I love that film. I'll probably watch that again pretty soon, I think. And TZ Canadian, hello, sweetheart. Good to see you. Guys, it's so good to see everyone this morning. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. We talked about the original Grinch. Has anyone seen the latest version? So I can think of 3 versions. We had the first, which I think is the best, as correctly stated, with Boris Karloff. We had the Jim Carrey live action one, which I thought was actually pretty good. As I've said before, I'm not the biggest fan of Jim Carrey, but he really went above and beyond to play the Grinch. Apparently, the costume that he wore was incredibly painful. So kudos for him for doing that. I thought it was pretty good. You know, I like the way the Who's looked. I thought it was quite charming, a film. It was a little bit too kind of self-aware, a little bit too modern, I thought, but still fun. And then we had the newest one, which came out in 2018, I think, and that's got Benedict Cumberbatch voicing the Grinch. It was okay. It didn't do anything for me, to be honest. I didn't think we needed yet another version of the Grinch. But it seemed to have been popular, you know. They kind of revamped it just enough to make it feel different, I guess. And I think for anyone that, especially, you know, young kids who haven't seen the original, who probably might be a little bit too young to see Jim Carrey prancing about, dressed all in green fur, I would say this is kind of a happy medium for them. It's definitely a lot more kiddie based, so it was okay. It wasn't anything special, at least not for me. But I admit I'm probably not the target audience. Let's see. Oh, I know one that I didn't talk about that got a few sequels. Santa Claus with Tim Allen. I thought that was a pretty good film. It was something different. He basically has to take on the role of Santa Claus after an accident with the first Father Christmas, Santa Claus, whichever way you want to call it. And I thought it was quite interesting, a take on a Christmas story. I liked that he just, you know, starts taking on this persona and starts looking like him. So he starts putting on weight when he's not really overeating, which is kind of funny. Then this huge bushy white beard grows, and all the time he's fighting it because he doesn't want to be Father Christmas. And eventually he just kind of embraces it with the help of his son. So I thought that was pretty good, I've got to admit. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Moons of Madness. Hey, good to see you. Coffee and Coraban says, I don't know how you solo stream so well. I feel like I can't even talk right without having guests on. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I've got to admit, I struggle, but it's one of those ones that I kind of... I like to try and give you guys as good a show as I possibly can, because I don't want to feel like I'm, you know, having to rely on you guys to be the entertainment. I want to be able to let you guys kind of sit back and relax and talk in the chat and just have a conversation. That's the way I look at it. But thank you, sweetheart. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Brandon says, yes, the Santa Claus. I really like that. Jingle all the way, Dave Bob. Absolutely. Dave Bob's killing it today with the recommendations. Dean says, I used to read The Grinch That Stole Christmas to my nephew on Christmas before he went to bed. Oh, that's so sweet. I love Christmas traditions like that. I love anything, you know, sit down and read a book. I love films that kind of bring the family together that you can sit down and enjoy. Anything like that. I'm kind of sappy when it comes to that sort of thing. I admit it. I'll put my hands up. It's okay. Justice for Deb says about the Grinch films, all three of them had good and bad things in them. The Grinch is so good. I'd agree with that. Like I said, each of them, they've got really kind of strong points I enjoyed. Oh, Dave, yes, Babes in Toyland. Yes, absolutely. And I think I even put on the thumbnail, if I remember correctly, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. There's something about that animation style, the stop-motion animation, that really appeals to me. I've talked about it before, but I love that. And I can't remember what the other one is. I think you guys in America would probably remember it more. Or is it Babes in Toyland that's got the Heatmeister in? You have to correct me, because Purple's a bit stupid when it comes to stuff like that. Some things I remember, some things I don't. Snowdrop Live says, Amen, Daybar. Best Christmas movie is A Muppets Christmas Carol. Agreed. I love The Muppets Christmas Carol. I have multiple versions of it. I've got the sound track on vinyl. It's Michael Caine just having an absolute blast playing Ebenezer Scrooge, and the Muppet characters are just brilliantly picked. I love Kermit. I really think it's a really well done film. So absolutely. SJ Almighty says Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2 are good. I've heard really good things about those. I haven't watched them, but I have actually added them to my to watch list on Amazon, because I think that's where I've got them stored. Oh, thank you, Brandon says, plus Purple's voice is so damn soothing. Thank you. I try. Purple's voice is actually kind of scratchy at the moment because she had a cold, but thank you, sweetheart. Arwen brings up a good one. Toys with Robin Williams is one of my favourites and such an underrated Christmas movie. A lot of people forget about Toys. I've got to admit, it's one of those ones that he did. I think it was like he kind of did quite a few at once, and this one wasn't as popular, but I really like it. It's a great film. Dave Bob, Bad Santa. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that film. All right, should we talk about a few more adult, I suppose, adult films, Christmas films? So, Bad Santa, Billy Bob Thornton, pretending to be a shopping mall Santa to kind of rip off the stalls Christmas Eve. I would class it as a dark comedy, I guess, and it's kind of like a if you're not a big fan of the overly sweet, overly happy Christmas films, this is a really good one to watch, just to cut through all the sugar. So I'd recommend that as well. There was another one, and I'm just trying to find it on my list, because I did actually do a list this time, guys. Believe it or not. I think it was called Bad Moms, if I remember correctly. That was pretty good. There was a Christmas version that they did as well. That and Harold and Kumar did a Christmas film as well, which has got it's pretty good. I'm not biggest fan of Harold and Kumar, but it's surprisingly a heartwarming film if you like that sort of thing. But then again, I suppose I would class Christmas Vacation among those kind of more adult, slightly darker films for Christmas. But still fun. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Oh, it skipped on me again. Goodness gracious, guys, you are on fire. Mark says it does have a semi-happy ending, Purple. True. Very true. And Chris says Purple, the stop-motion movie with the Heatmeister and Snowmeister was the Without Santa Claus. Thank you, honey. I knew I was thinking of something, but I couldn't remember which Christmas film. I don't remember the film itself, but I do remember the songs that the characters sung. So thank you for that. Hello, Inframartian. Good to see you. Say my Christmas tradition marathon of Scrooge, which is the 51 with Alice the Sim, The Avengers, Too Many Christmas Trees from 65, and On Her Majesty's Secret Service on 69. Great choices. Each has elements that carry on to the next. That is a fantastic set. That is a really good one. And I know a lot of people do watch James Bond at Christmas. Over here in the UK, it was one of those ones. I think it's Boxing Day. You can usually find at least one 007 film being played somewhere. Oh my gosh. Let's see what else you guys have got to say. Wendology says Heat Miser. Love those songs. Me too. There's something really catchy about them, isn't there? And like I said, I love the style of the stop motion animation. There's something really endearing about it. We don't have a lot of stop motion animation films anymore, and I kind of miss it. So absolutely. Pat S said Trading Places was a very adult Christmas movie. Okay. Daniel says any Robin Williams film kind of feels like Christmas to me. I'd agree with that one. Absolutely. There's something very warm about Robin Williams, and again, another one that I really miss. Brandon says, see you all tomorrow. Stay tuned. You have a fantastic day, Brandon. Thank you, sweetheart, for your super chat. Really appreciate that. I think Ren Zero said about... oh no, it's Moons and Madness as well. Thank you, Moons. He said the year without Santa Claus had Snowmeister and Heatmeister. Thank you, honey. Appreciate that. Let's see what else we can come up with before we end. Let me throw it out to you guys. You can say in the chat and I'll read them out. What is your, if you had to pick one film, what would be your go-to? If you say aliens invaded and they wanted a really the best example of a holiday film, what would you guys pick for them to watch? For me, I would probably... Oh, it's a tough one, but I would probably go for The Muppets Christmas Carol just because I have so much fun watching it. It still makes me laugh. It's still funny. There's just this one line right at the beginning about the vegetables, and it's some guy runs past on the cart, picks up I think it's a squash or it's a cabbage or something, and this puppet's just yelling, "Help! Help! Help! I'm being stolen!" I don't know why. Cracks me up every single time. Maybe I've just got a stupid sense of humour. What can I say? Let's see. Wendology says the original animated Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Great choice. Jim says Mars Attacks. Not Christmas, but amazing film anyway. Agreed. That was Tim Burton, wasn't it? That was another one of his. Mark says Christmas Vacation. Isaj Melody agrees with Christmas Vacation. Snowdub said, oh my god, I would enjoy the winter wonderland that is John Carpenter's The Thing. It has snow, Snowdub, so agreed. Parrothead said It's a Wonderful Life. Great choice. SJ Almighty says my mum would give Blackadder's Christmas Carol a whirl if you haven't seen it already. Another fantastic choice. That is a really good Christmas Carol, and one that I forgot to add to my list of Christmas carols. So I will add that one to the collection as well. Arwin Avalon says, for me, it would be It's a Wonderful Life for live action and Charlie Brown's Christmas for animated. Yes. I've only recently started watching the Snoopy animated specials. I really love the Halloween one. I've just watched the Thanksgiving one, so I'll watch the Christmas one as well. Dean Krantz says have to go with Scrooge. Bill Murray is the man. Perez Scrooge from 1951, classic and timeless. Agreed. Absolutely. Chris Persia, the 1938 version of Christmas Carol. Ren Zero, are we talking Christmas films only or for any film for the aliens? I would stick with the Christmas films for the aliens. And let me just scroll back up and grab this super chat just to say thank you. There we go. Thank you, Ian Forth. Thank you, sweetheart. He said, yep, for Muppets Christmas Carol. Also, if aliens invaded, tell them Kermit is our leader. Thank you, sweetheart. Let me scroll up and grab that if I can find it, because it skipped on me for some reason. But a massive thank you for that. Thank you, sweetheart. Renzira said, go with Batman Returns. Another one. Thinking outside the box, I like it. That's a Christmas film. I agree. Dean Krantz said, oops, let me grab it. Did anyone mention Miracle on 34th Street with Natalie Wood? I did mention it. I do like both versions, I've got to admit. I like the black and white version, and I like the remake that we had as well. I think both had a lot of heart. Darren Zone, Empire Strikes Back. Yes, it's seasonal. It's got snow. Moons of Madness, Gremlins, absolutely. I hope that would scare them. There it is. Thank you, Ian. It skipped on me. Thank you so much for that super chat. Really appreciate it. Dave Bob says it's a Christmas story. Yes, absolutely. Mark, Christmas Vacation, because that does kind of explain all the funny and weird things that can happen on Christmas. Agreed. It also shows just how crazy humans can be, so it might put them off invading if that's what they were there for. And hello, Miss Martin Muses. Hey, sweetheart, good to see you. Can't decide. It's a four-way tie for me between It's a Wonderful Life, Miracle on 34th Street, the original, Scrooge from 51, and Remember the Night. Now that's one that we haven't talked about. Good choices. Absolutely. Snowdub says, gotta give Die Hard a shout out. Absolutely. I will die on that hill for anybody that says Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie. We all know it is. And a huge thank you to Miss Martin Muses. Thank you, sweetheart. She sends us a super sticker. Let me just see if I can see what that is, if it will update for me. Oops. Well, I just checked for a second because it's decided to freeze on me. But a huge thank you, Miss Martin Muses. Sends us a 99-cent super sticker. Thank you, sweetheart. I really appreciate that. Much appreciated. You guys are the best as always. There we go. Okay, now it's updating. Let me grab it and see. YouTube's being weird at the moment, guys. I don't know what's going on. If it's not YouTube acting up, it's StreamYard's acting up. It's a conspiracy, I tell you. But we are incredibly lucky to get to do this, so who am I to complain? So you guys are the best as always. Let's see. Whoops. Let's see what we say. It was a rose. Thank you, sweetheart. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. And Southern Cecil says, thank you, Chris. Southern Cecil says, don't forget Lethal Weapon. We did forget about Lethal Weapon, actually. Good call. Well done. Thank you, guys. So, Bada says, Purple Valkyrie, so glad you did this and not favourite Hallmark Christmas movies. But, to be fair, those Hallmark movies keep the 80s sitcom child actresses off the streets. That's a good way to look at it. And Chris says the 93 classic with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, Grumpy Old Men. Yes, absolutely. Oh my god, guys. We could do a part 2. There's so many great films. Guys, you guys have absolutely blown it out of the water today. Thank you. Thank you so much for today. I wasn't sure if this was going to be something you guys would want to talk about, but I think come Christmas, perhaps we can do another one, and I might do like a top 5 and invite a panel on if anybody would like to join. I think that would be really fun. But a massive, massive thank you to everybody who joined today. You guys were brilliant, as always. A huge, huge thank you to everybody who sent super stickers, who sent super chats, to SJ Almighty for sending the tip, which still hasn't updated. I am so sorry, sweetheart, but I will read it out as soon as it updates. So a massive thank you, guys. You guys are the best as always. I hope everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving who celebrated it yesterday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Guys, we are heading into the holidays. It's a time for friends. It's a time for family. If I could get you guys to do just one thing for me, just reach out to each other, check up on each other, just keep those connections going, because this time of year, especially, we need it more than ever. So please, guys, have a fantastic rest of your Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. I know there's a heck of a lot going on this weekend. We've got loads of fantastic streams coming up. There's a lot of people in the community working incredibly hard on their channels. So I'm going to be hanging out with as many people in chat as I can. I know Loki's got a show he's doing this evening, which should be a lot of fun. You guys are the best as always. So coming up, I'm going to try on Sunday. If you guys are up for it, I would love to do a member stream because we haven't done one this month. So that would be brilliant. Probably going to do it around about 2 p.m. Central, if that's okay. If you guys are up for it, I will make sure to put the link in the community tab. I'd love to just kind of hang out with you guys for an hour and just kind of chat. That would be brilliant. Catch up with everybody. So have a wonderful rest of your day. A huge, huge thank you, because you guys were fantastic today as always. It's been an absolute pleasure to get to chat with you today, and sending you guys all love. Mwah. Take care, everyone.